What's happening? What's happening, viewers? Where's the funny at? Funny's right here in a hat. Getting my Dr. Seuss on, apparently. All right. What do we have on the board today? What are we doing? Look at my beautiful board. Big, beautiful board. Like Trump's big, beautiful bill. What the coffee? Oh, man. Can't believe I'm out of coffee already. I integrated Podium. If you don't know what Podium is, it's like Twilio on this app that we're working on. So I can send text messages now. This app is it's a plumbing app, actually. Not that it teaches you how to plumb or it plumbs for you, but it's for home services companies. Right now, you got to pick up a phone and you say, my toilet's leaking, it's spraying water in my face. And they got to dispatch somebody to come out to your house, and they charge you a bunch of money for that. What if that could be a FaceTime call? So what we're doing is we're building an app that is essentially a FaceTime call for home services companies. And we've got the basics laid down for booking an appointment. It currently creates a Google meeting with the participants, which is going to not be needed soon. And then it sends out some text messages. It does more than that, but these are the basics. And it integrates with a system called ServiceTitan, which many of the home services companies across the United States use ServiceTitan. I don't know, they got like 60-70% of the market or something like that. So we're basically integrating, or we're building it on top of ServiceTitan so that it works well with your systems out of the box. And we were using Google Meet for a little prototype, or a proof of concept, perhaps I should call it. And now that we're building toward an MVP, we got to swap out Google Meet for something a little bit more professional, embedded, branded. That is Whereby. What is Whereby? This is Whereby. Whereby is whereby you do video chats via an API. Whereby. Rhymes with API. I got a little high-def video here of a girl on a computer chatting with a guy on a computer. Yay. Now, I had set up... the first part that we're going to do here is going to be kind of boring because I had already set up a personal Whereby account for the prototype, for the proof of concept. And now I got to reset up some of that, swap out the secrets and stuff like that, get their account set up in Whereby, and then we can start coding against it. And I believe at some point Simon will join us today. I'm not sure. I texted him. I don't know why he doesn't just sit around waiting for me to text him all day. You know? That's what a good friend would do. Also, this is what our form looks like right now, just for reference. Super simple. In-town plumbing. Schedule a virtual consultation call. You select your category of your need. Repair. Next. Looks up dates, availability dates. It's Wednesday, 2:11 p.m. Dallas, Texas time. So I've got a couple future bookings. I can select one, put in my info, continue to payment. Things will go through. We'll do a fuller demo of that later. Gator. And let's get into Whereby here. I have a pretty good sense of where I want this to go, in fact. We're going to set this up, review the N8N flow. Yeah, I've got some stuff in N8N that I'd automated before. Let's just finish setting this up and try to be careful not to share too much. Experience Whereby embed, configure, API keys. Let's generate a key. Let's not generate it on screen, though, So we're going to generate a key over here. The key name, what should I call it? Let's call it, man, I don't have like a good name for this app, The idea is that we would white label it for a bunch of other plumbing companies to use. Man, should we just call it like vert, okay, vert, like virtual, vert. Vert makes me think of Bert and Ernie. I don't know, we'll just call it app key. We'll be boring. App key, accept all cookies. We're gonna save that. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna copy that to my local thing. And we're gonna make sure we've saved this off somewheres. Exit my Minecraft server. Since we're working now. We're a working boy. And let's go back over to, sorry, I gotta hop over to my notes. To today. Engineering journal. You guys keep an engineering journal? I really highly recommend you keep an engineering journal. Okay, got my API key temporarily saved so that I can come back on screen here, close that. Okay, let's bring this back over. Who's texting me? Who's texting me? That's Simon. You want to join link? You want to join link, Simon? Let's see if we can get Simon in here. Google, meet.google. Start an instant meeting. And copy this URL. Won't you be my little quarantine? Okay. We'll see while we wait for that. So we got our API. Allowed domains, probably. I don't remember if I hooked this up before. Restrict iframe embedding to these domains. No, I don't need that. Webhooks, I don't need that yet. I will eventually use that, I think, because I do want to know when meetings start. They have a pretty good API for that, in fact. Features. I don't really care about all this. I can't do recording until I get a better plan. I don't have any rooms created. Okay, let's actually go look. I cannot remember how I did this in N8N, where I did it before. Let's check that bad boy out. Bad boys, bad boys. Close that, close that. Got some docs over here in town. Whereby events. So how did we do this before? Got a webhook coming in from whereby, I believe, because host body room client joined. So I was getting some of these whereby events before. In fact, this is not what I was thinking of. We got to go back to here, agent response. Is it this one? Oh yeah, right here, whereby create a meeting. So we got this whereby dev version 1 meetings. We were posting, we were creating some stuff, putting in some metadata, getting back a room URL and a host URL. That will be important. We're gonna have to save that. In fact, we're gonna have to save that to ServiceTitan. So when a new meeting is booked, then I create a meeting link. So this is actually gonna be this API here. Then I create a new room via the blop API. And I need to add, I'm gonna have to add some custom fields in ServiceTitan and add a custom field. So this is, I'm actually trying to do this without a database. I could go create a database, which is definitely the long-term architecture. Right now, though, I want to see if I can get this to work somewhat fully integrated with ServiceTitan. And I'm realizing now at some point I'm going to need like a full on, how to, like instruction manual on setting up ServiceTitan for some other user if somebody was using that. But add a custom field of, let's say, customer join link. Add the customer link to the custom field of, I don't really know what we're going to call this, but customer join link. Excuse me. Something like that. And then very similarly, add the technician link to the custom field of tech or host. Host join link, maybe. Nah, technician naming, technician join link. So there's actually a couple things I'm gonna have to do here as far as we gotta integrate with the Whereby APIs and then also the ServiceTitan APIs. Okay. So that was creating, well, that was it. We just created it. It was there. I need to have some cleanup logic eventually. I'm not going to worry about that. So that's really all it did. Perf. And of course, I'm trying to figure out how to just like feed documentation more often to my AI. So I have this Whereby API reference here. I don't see like a full-on schema anywhere that I can just import, edit on GitHub, etc. I mean, I do have these, or not this, but in GitHub, it's got all this API documentation here. So I need to figure out a good way to feed that in. I don't know. I believe it's pretty straightforward, though. Hop in a bit, short break, 3 hours of development work. All right, Simon he'll be joining a bit later. So let's hop over to code then, and let's see. I've got my API key I need to add, and I'm playing around with this slightly new workflow here with AI where I kind of ask it to help me design everything first. And then we jump in and let the AI agent start doing its thing. So I'm going to open up a new chat. We're just going to go to ask. Hey, I'm adding in a Whereby integration. I will need to create a new meeting room. I think it's is it meeting room or is it just meetings, right? What do we got here? I guess it's just meetings because there are rooms. I don't want rooms. I just want meetings, bruh. Create a new meeting. I will need to create a new meeting when a user successfully books a consultation. First, help me define what folders and files you would create with NextJS best practices in order to call the Whereby API. And one thing that I want to just help it out a little bit here, because I have these actions, this create job action specifically. So no UI code should change. The new meeting will be created as part of the create job action flow. So basically I'm going to ask it to help me put together an initial design. And then if I like the design, I'll give it some feedback. If I like the design, and then it'll actually go implement everything is what I'm going to try here. So lib whereby client types auth meetings. This looks good. Authentication handling. I don't need because I just have I don't need auth handling. Well, let me say this. For auth, I just need to include the, what do they call it actually? Are you working professional from Viral Center? Yes. This is I'm actually working on a client project right now that they're paying me for. I've just decided to live stream pretty much every time I work on it. What was I going to say? I just need to include the, do they call it the auth token? What do they call it? Create your video experience, blah, 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 API reference. Give me developer guides. They need to just have like, they don't have just like a really simple authentication thing. Permissions, accessibility, webhooks, API reference. Here we go. Authentication, bearer auth with the bearer token. Bearer token. Bearer token. Try to go back to Streamlabs here. I got you, Viral Center. I answered you, bro. A bearer token. Do I need a whole for auth? I just need to include a bearer token. It will be a environment variable, of course. Let's see. What would be the next thing that I want to do? Yeah, okay, I got rid of that. So it's just going to use the API token. Good. Good, good, good. And then it's going to get back some of that. I mean, I kind of want to do that as a second step as far as pushing data into ServiceTitan. Yeah, I mean, I guess it can just go implement it, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say add some stub code, because after I get the whereby meeting details, I'm going to eventually send it to ServiceTitan as custom fields on the job, I guess, on the appointment. I don't know. I got to figure that out. As custom fields. I'm not sure if that should be on the job or the appointment yet. I'll figure that out later. I wonder what it's going to do with that, you know? What do you do, Viral Center? You code? What do you code? So let's see. What do we got here? Files to create. Here we go. Update, environment thing, whereby types. Looking pretty good. Whereby client. Yeah, I'm not gonna have this fields. Create meeting, make request. Okay, I'm liking this. Create the meeting request. How am I getting clients? Yeah, good question. Just barely, man. Just barely. I have a podcast. That helps a lot. I try to make my podcast interviewing people that I want to work for. Build a relationship, let them know what I do. That leads to some business. Which website am I using? What are you asking? You asking what technology I'm using? Whereby index, jada. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the agent and I'm gonna say, looks good. Go ahead and implement your proposed changes. Make sure all the API types are correct. here's a link to the GitHub API docs for Whereby. I don't know if it can actually use this link. I'm very curious to see if it can. Got this big old thing. Big old thing. Let's see. Which website are you using for getting clients? Mostly LinkedIn. I don't use Upwork, Fiverr, Lemon, any of these other things. I'm just building my network and brand on LinkedIn and my website. Work in progress, though. I mean, I'm barely making it. I got one client. Hopefully, I'll get another one pretty soon here. I can probably do up to 2 or 3 clients at a time. All right, I got to go populate this environment variable. Of course, I'm not going to show you guys that. I'm going to do it in here, though. I'm going to say whereby, ching, and put this in the example thing so I don't forget to add it later. And then I'm going to cd into my project on the side here. Let's see. There, here, whereby token, copy this guy, paste it in there. Okay, so I should have a whereby token in my env now. Great. Can I get any clients? I'm working professional in building applications. Can you get any clients? It's a very broad question, man. What do you anybody can get clients, I think, if you know what you're doing. You have to become a salesman. Like, are you trying to do contracting? What are you trying to do? What industry do you work in? I think that's the first thing, is you got to really know what you're good at. You got to know what you can do better than anybody around you. And why. Tell me what that is. Sell me. Tell me what you can do better than 80% of the people around you and why you can do it better than them. And then go do a project around that, or go do something for your portfolio, right? A project or a process or a white paper. Go create something that proves that you can do that better than anybody else. And then you go flaunt that around. Okay, let's see what we did here. I've implemented the complete whereby integration with the correct API types based on the documentation. Here's what I've created. Types, TypeScript interfaces, watching whereby, client, HTTP client with proper error handling, business logic for creating consultation meetings, clean exports for the module, key features, bearer token, blah, 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 blah. I actually don't like how it does this complete API coverage, because if I'm never using this, it's like dead code that gets created from day one that I'm not using, that I may not use for 6 months. And then it's out of date, and I don't know that it's out of date. You know, somebody else is just going to take it for granted. The code's there. It probably works. It probably worked at some point in the past. Nope. Never worked. Never tested it. Never cared. Thanks, AI. Thanks for creating stuff I don't care about. The user books consultation, yada, 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 yada. New whereby meetings. All right. So env types, client meetings, whatever. This one I kind of care about. Let's see this one here. Adding in whereby, meeting created, meeting details, any. Why is it any? Don't make it any. You know what that type is. I guess I got to accept all just to check this thing out here. I'm not getting any clients to do the work. Okay, well, you haven't answered my question yet. Create consultation meeting data. This is hopefully right. Who knows? Okay, so I guess here's the thing, right? Like, you created all this code for me. I want a quick way to test this. The last time it told me to test this, I was not a super fan of it. I mean, I like how this is laid out here. This is pretty nice, actually. Yeah, that's nice. Last time I tested this, it had me create a bunch of routes that I would hit through HTTP. Not the worst. But that would get shipped with my code, right? I would get all these extra test routes that would get shipped with my production system. Not the best. Definitely not the best. So I'm going to have to try this a slightly different way here in order to test this whereby deal. So let's go back to my ask and let's say, hey, I love this little whereby client you wrote me. I want a simple test script that I can run to verify the API. To verify the code is correct. How would I do that? How would I do that? I don't want to create new routes for it. Just like a dev or test script. Let's see what that does. What if you tell it to just write tests? Yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking about. Well, I don't like unit tests, though. No unit tests. Because those just become, especially so I'm building an MVP. Okay, we don't know if this product's going to see the light of day. I don't want to spend a bunch of time writing unit tests. Unit tests are not really what I'm interested in testing. I'm testing that I can make a real API call and really create a real meeting for real up in here, up in the, what was I going to call it? Up in whereby, which I should see. I think it's going to show up in rooms, actually. The words they use are a little odd, but when I create a new meeting, it's going to show up as a new room. I guess every meeting has at least one room. It just doesn't always distinguish between those two. Viral Center. Building full stack applications is not a specialty. Everybody can do that. AI can do that. What's your specialty? How do you do it better than anybody else? What kind of full stack application? Okay, we got a little scripty script here, whereby TypeScript. So last time I had a TypeScript file like this, it didn't really work. Let's see. Let's see if this one works. I kind of feel like doing this manually. Can I just do, I think I'm going to make a new folder called test. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Okay, we should do this. We're going to do scripts test whereby, new file, test whereby.ts. I'm just going to copy this. Pull into a bunch of fun stuff. Yep. Wow, no errors at all. Let's go ahead and run that. I like TSX. Okay. And let's just do npx tsx test. So, what you gonna do when you come for you? This, like, where's the header? I'm just checking the auth real quick. I mean, I guess, like, let's just Wild West. Let's do it. Boom. Okay, it blew up. Why did it blow up? Missing environment variable. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to manual because I'm going to say make sure the test script loads the env vars. Make sure we'll go ahead and do this in package JSON now. Make this easier. What are you doing? What you are doing is also can be done by AI. What's your specialty? What AI can't do, AI can do anything then. No. I disagree. So one thing viral that I have that a lot of other developers don't have is I've got 14 and a half years of experience. So AI is constantly doing things wrong that with 14 and a half years of experience, which is not even a lot, but with that level of experience, I can, guide AI into the better and the proper solutions, just like I'm doing here, right? That's one thing. The other thing is my specialty is I don't just code. I actually do a lot of architecture work. I build systems. I have custom processes around sticky notes here. You see all these sticky notes? Ooh, sticky notes. It looks cute. It looks simple. It's actually 14 years of experience in how to define systems. I also have an experience in building products quickly. Just now, somebody said, why don't you write tests? I know that I'm not going to write unit tests because in a startup project like this, we're not going to write unit tests. So I have a specialty in building prototypes, proof of concepts that are complex. The full stack technical code skills I have are nothing. I never advertise that. I never lead with, I can write JavaScript. I lead with, I can build a business value system. I know how to break features down into small steps and deliver several features per week with just a few hours of my time. That's like more of a soft skill than a hard skill. I don't know if any of that makes sense. You guys let me know if that makes sense at all. Also pick an industry if you can. I grew up in aerospace, so I have typically worked in high-tech aerospace type of companies. That's sort of pivoting right now. I'm working on a plumbing application right now, right? So, but I don't lead with, I build full stack. I lead with, hey, I've done work in aerospace. And then the client thinks, oh, well, if he's worked on aerospace, surely he can build our little plumbing app. Yeah, I can actually. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yep, go ahead and run that. Package JSON, assuming your environment variables are env. Yep, apply this to this over here. Go ahead and apply, bam, accept. And then we're gonna run that in just a hot one. Yep. This finished doing that. Yes, it did, good. See, all this looks familiar. Apply to package JSON. I've written all this code that AI is generating. I have handwritten this code in ages past. So I know it's looking good. Where did it? Now when you run, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I gotta go back to this guy. Getting some weird hover effect going on here. npm run test whereby module not found. This is what I was running into earlier. I was really ticked off about it. At your time, there's no AI which helped you by giving a chance one can know their work. I don't know what that means, sorry. I'm going to have to elaborate on that. Put your, put it through AI. If you have any suggestions, let me know what skills in this generation will help me to get clients. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about what skills. What are you using for a backend? So right now, this is all a NextJS app. So I'm using the NextJS server side as my lightweight backend, but I'm integrating with other systems. This little app sits on top of several other systems. So like, I don't have a database because all the data is kept in a third-party system called ServiceTitan. They have an API. They have all their stuff in there. They're like an ERP. So I'm building an app on top of another app that already has everything there. So really this app is integrating, okay? Which back to Viral Center's question about what skills. I mean, honestly, man, the ability to read legacy code, the ability to read other APIs and that are not well documented. It's like everybody knows how to build a Shopify storefront. Woohoo. You got the badge, you got the trophy, it's on your shelf. Everybody else has one too, so it's not special. The thing that a lot of people struggle with is if there's a custom system that does not have an advertised API, so ChatGPT doesn't know about it and you got to go dig into it and figure out how to use it. There's still a lot of systems out there like that. I mean, that's what this job is, right? So that's where it becomes a little bit more critical for you to know your stuff. AI can certainly help you. I'm not saying AI doesn't have its place. Yeah, it does. But you got to have the kind of like the fundamentals and the understanding of how APIs work and how the code should be laid out, because you're going to be doing some of that on your own. Right, Riker?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
APIs.
Awesome.
Cannot find module, blue, 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 imported from. Okay. Error, module not found. Module not found. I think this is all this TypeScript stuff. Nope. Did I do this wrong? Hold on. Am I being a... Oh, it's doing scripts, isn't it? I'm an idiot. I was running into so many, like module will not load, ESM script errors earlier. Good. Forbidden. That I just assumed I knew what I was looking at. Like an idiot. I can do that. I can reverse engineer the application. Well, if that's true, then that can be a skill. That can be something you advertise, right? You get really specific on your ability to reverse engineer things. And then again, you go do a project, go make a video, go write a white paper, go create a marketing campaign around that ability. That's how you're going to get clients. So why is it returning HTML forbidden? Have I done something wrong? Let's see, developer guide. Get started in 3 steps. Okay, hold on. Let me just double check something real quick because I've done this before. This is not my first rodeo. I'm doing header auth, whereby custom auth header. Let's go look at that. Authorization. It should be, I'm not going to show you guys this, but it should just be bearer with the token stuff, generic credential type, API whereby .dev v1 meetings. I'm just going to see if my code lines up to what I had done before. Okay. Of course, I say my code. We all know what that means. The AI code. So up in this business, create consultation meeting, create meeting request, start date, end date, room name, room mode. I really need to like move this thing. This thing's getting in my way over here. End date is locked is true fields. Huh. So actually it doesn't even have like, doesn't have room mode, doesn't have room name. Max participants 2. Okay. Is recurring false. I'm not sure about this, y'all. Create meeting. Post to /meetings. Make request. API whereby.com. You see this? You see this? They got it wrong. API.whereby.dev. Shall we? Shall we see what's going on here? API whereby.dev v1 meetings. It's like, what the heck, man? API.whereby.dev/v1/meetings. Okay, so that might be better. Maybe we fixed a little bug here. Of course, it says 403 forbidden, so I don't know about that. I don't know about you. Okay, bad request. We're getting better. We're getting better. Invalid room name. Room. So room mode, room name pattern, prefix, recording, field, streaming. Look at this. Even this well-documented API, and I sent it. I tried to tell my AI, by the way. I sent it over here to this documentation. Did not work. Oh, I do have a swagger. What is this? Oh, come on, somebody. Here we go. Reference docs, open API. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. Okay. This is what I should have had. Doggone. Why was that hard to find, you know? Nikes. So check this out. I see the chat. Anyhow, thanks for the tips. Yeah, for sure, man. You see what AI just did, though, you guys? This is my point. This is my point with AI. It can do a lot, but it's still requiring me to guide it. And yes, it will get there someday. Someday it will get there. And I know a lot of big companies are making these big bets that, you know, oh, it's going to replace all of our jobs right away. Is not going to. Like, the navigators, AI is is the new car, okay? Like, it still needs a driver. We're all right, okay? The horse got upgraded, yes. Yes, it did. So go learn to drive the freaking car. Resources, new file, whereby JSON. Okay, now check this out. This is what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to come in here. I'm going to say, there's an error in the, we're going to do the AI agent actually for this one because we need it to be a little bit smarter for this. There's an error in the API call to create a meeting in client, bam. Refer to the API document in resources/whereby.json and fix the API call and the types in the types period. Okay. See how this works. Here we go now. Here we go now. Go look at my LinkedIn. If you're still on Viral Center, go look at my LinkedIn. Follow me. But look at the post that I literally made. Was that today? I think it was today or yesterday. I'm telling you, that's how you stay ahead. Why did it switch it back to whereby.com? What? You see that, guys? Whereby dev, it's trying to switch it back to whereby.com. Is that in here? It's not in here. Here's the server URL. Why? I'm gonna reject you. I'm gonna reject you. Boom. Get out of here. Okay. Fixes made. Changed from dev to .com erroneously. End date is required. Start date is deprecated, but still accepted. Is that true? It is true. Look at that. Value is ignored. Start time now defaults to time of request. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. Is there some other deal here? Or they just don't care? They don't care about the, like there is no start time? Huh, that is an interesting choice. Excuse me. Fixed stuff, doing other stuff. Okay, so I don't want to accept all yet because I'm already seeing mistakes that it's made, right? So let's go to our types. Here we go. I think the types are going to be okay. They've got all this stuff in here. Provider, S3, whereby. Ooh, nice. You can hook it up to S3. Didn't even know that. Fields. I'm feeling good about these types. Yes, it's deleted a bunch of stuff out of the meeting response, which is good. Can I accept everything in this file? Okay, I think that's what that did. So types, digging on that. Get meeting got an update. List meetings got an update. Create meeting did not get an update because it's just posting the data through. So I guess I'm going to accept the client there. And then it also updated the meetings.ts. Good. Room name I expected to be gone. Room mode it still has. Normal group. Okay. Yep. Good. Room name pattern, UID fields, host room URL. Hey, look at that. So host room URL was not in there before. That was in my N8N though. Boom. Boom. So that's actually, I'm digging on that. Blah, blah, blah. Other stuff I haven't used yet. Just going to accept all that. Okay, I got a feeling. Who wants to bet? Who wants to make a bet? Soap. What do you bet? $2. I bet you $2 this works. Hey, we should do that. We should do bets. And if I'm right, you guys have to pay me $2. How about that? Huh? I think that's a great plan. What am I building? Building a video consultation app. So you want to call out a plumber, or you have an issue in your house, you need a plumber. Instead of them charging you to physically get in their car and drive out, why can't we do a FaceTime? So there's a client of mine who wants to build this system. So I'm building it and just streaming the process. And right now we're trying to integrate with a video chat service called Whereby to provide that FaceTime feel. Oh, look at that, you guys. Y'all owe me $2. Man, I need a coffee. Look at that. Look at that. Got a room name up in here. So look at if I go to over here. No rooms configured. Insights, recordings, developer guide. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Features, appearance, recording. Do I need to just like refresh totally? No rooms created yet. I guess it doesn't list the meetings. This can't be right. In-town plumbing. Host URL. Look at this. I can go to this. Copy. If I pop over here, boom. Sorry, we can't find that room. Aha. Aha. So why didn't this work? Okay, hold on. Let me go look at this room name. Something didn't work right. Oh, look at that. Cleaning up. Deleting test meeting. Successfully deleted the meeting. Dude, I didn't even look at my test code. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, I guess, got to read the logs. See, 14 years of experience. Still can't read the logs. Just crudded this thing. Created, read, didn't update, but then it deleted. Awesome. That's a nice idea. Are you going to actually build and ship, or are you just doing this for practicing? No, this is real, man. This is a 100% real product. I did a prototype. No, I'm trying to use the right word here. I did a proof of concept for this client. They paid me in 2 weeks. I did a bunch of proof of concepting, built them a demo, did 80% of it in N8N. not actually coding. I did 80% of the app in N8N just to build the proof of concept to show them this is what it would look like. This is kind of how it would function. It wasn't using a database. It was using Google Meet. It was using Google Sheets. They were impressed after those 2 weeks of demo. They said, yes, we want to build the real thing. So I said, okay, let's sign a contract. So now we're building a minimum viable product. So basically everything that I built in N8N for starters, I'm switching that over to use code because it's going to be a lot more reliable. We're going to use our own custom systems. Obviously, I can't build an entire product around Google Sheets. I need a real database at some point. So we're building the real system, and it's one of the requirements is that it has to integrate with ServiceTitan. So that's a big thing that you're not going to be able to integrate with ServiceTitan in N8N. I can do it in custom code though, right? So starting DevOps Bootcamp, any advice or suggestions you want to throw at me? DevOps Bootcamp. Sheesh, man, I don't know. I'll think about that. I'm gonna put that in the back of the cooker here. We'll see what kind of mana comes out. We got our test script. That's working beautifully. I'm like, is there anything else we have to do here? That was extremely fast. I have all these extra things open here. I'm trying to close all this stuff. When a meeting is booked, create a new room via the API. Okay, a little less code all of a sudden here because I'm gonna save our progress here. Okay, let's add everything. Let's review everything. So I've got updated example actions, a bunch of lib whereby stuff, package JSON, the new whereby JSON file. I actually want to rename this because this is probably a specific version 1. Okay, rename that. Put this back in here. What's up, son?
Minecraft again.
What about it? It's not working?
I'm friending BC main and it just keeps defriending me from him.
Minecraft problems. I think there's a BC main 1. Try to friend BC main 1 if it's not working.
Okay.
Yeah, see if that works. Otherwise, you'll have to not use the switch for now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use the computer though if you can figure that out.
Oh, you mean like on Minecraft?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like in general.
Oh yeah, no. Front-end developer, mostly working with React and React Native. Can you give me advice for where to start to learn back-end? Bootcamp, DevOps Bootcamp, and back-end advice for a front-end developer. I'm going to get there. Let's review this code real quick, though. So I added just a stub API token there to the example file. Meeting created in oh, I don't like that. Look at no any's in the code base. I do need to go back and there's a lot of opportunity for linting, prettier, adding in prettier to lint the code, adding in, what's the other one? TypeScript rules to not allow any, for instance. What file is this? Stand by. Create job. Can I just search for any? Yes, meeting details should not be any. Probably a whereby thing. Okay. No, it doesn't like that. Let's go to next problem. Whereby null. It's not signable, whatever. Whatever. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. As long as the type is fine, I'm not going to get philosophical about undefined versus null. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is creating the whereby meeting. Got that. Don't fail the entire job thing. Return the details out of this action. Getting the environment variable, client stuff. I'm going to skip over a lot of that. Index, skipping over that. Meetings.ts. Already kind of reviewed that. It's doing some custom. Create a room with a name prefix, customer name. Max 39 characters. Wow. This must have all come from the API there. Kind of cool. Do. There was something specific I was looking for in this, you guys. What was it? I think it was the stub code. Yeah, right here. There's some stub code that says example of what this might look like to update the job custom fields. Looks like it wants the job custom fields. Of course, that shouldn't be in the whereby code, so that's unfortunate. Is that where this is? Types? What is this? Lib whereby types. Is that not where I am? Example of what this might look like. That's what I'm looking at right now. How come I don't see the code comments there? Ooh, weird. So weird. Huh. It's kind of tripping me out right now. Okay, so we're gonna call this maybe a feature, maybe a chore. We're gonna say feature initial whereby connection validated. Initial. I think I spelled that right. Commit and push. All right, so I don't know if Manish is still out there with the DevOps Bootcamp. Any advice or suggestions you want to throw at me? I would say, this is really general advice, honestly, but I would say don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. I think that if you ask AI, explain this to me, and you read through it and you still don't get it, go get your hands dirty. Go write the code, break the code. I don't know if you guys are like me, but for me, I don't truly understand something until I understand how it breaks. And if AI gives you all these freebie answers and it just works the first time, you don't actually know why it's working, which means you don't actually know if it's doing it the right way or the wrong way. Okay. I got a message from a friend the other day. He's like, hey, I built this RAG chatbot. And then he messages me like 24 hours later and he's like, oh crap, I'm eating up all my cloud costs because this thing has gone rogue. Right? So it's like AI can give you an answer and it just works. And then you're like, great, commit and push. But you don't actually know how it's working. So you don't necessarily know, is that thing going to run away and eat up a bunch of extra CPU and cloud costs that you don't need? I'm not saying you have to do that in every case. I'm saying if you don't understand what AI is telling you or what AI is doing, embrace the opportunities to get your hands dirty, to dig in, to break it yourself, to truly understand it. Because again, we need drivers of this AI car. Hope your cooker supports rollback, just in case. I like it, Manish. My cooker is like stateless. My brain is forgetting stuff all the freaking time, which is nice because I get to learn things multiple times, which means I learn it maybe better in the end. Maybe, I don't know. Advice for where to start to learn backend. That's a really broad question. So all I can give is really broad advice. Do you have it like something more specific? I mean, there's all the classic advice, right? Like do a project. I would say stick with the same language. Like if you already know JavaScript really well in the front end with all the React stuff, don't choose Python, Fast API or Django. Don't choose that as your backend language yet. Because the fewer things you have to learn while you're learning those backend patterns, the better. I would, in the age of API, I would focus on patterns. Focus on patterns over syntax. Design patterns, standards, schemas, like all that kind of stuff. understand that a lot more. System design, architecture, that stuff's actually a lot more important. When should you build that as a microservice? When should you build that as a function inside of the monolith? That's a much harder question to answer. So I think thinking through and focusing on designs is much more valuable. Soap says, I want to go full stack. Where can I build actual projects, which is not possible without back-end knowledge? Okay, wait a minute. Think about what you're saying here, bro. I want to go full stack. Where can I build actual projects? Where can I build actual projects, which is not possible without back-end knowledge? I guess I don't understand what you mean. I mean, are you asking a technical question? Are you asking for ideas? You got to elaborate on that one, Soap. All right. Note to self. So we have a test script that's working. I have my app somewhere out here. Boop-a-doop. Here it is. Here's my pretty little app. And in fact, maybe we'll pop this over here or something. Hopefully you guys can still see that. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do this. Okay, because it's going to be a phone app. Or at least phone native or whatever. And I'm going to refresh this. And I need to hook this up to the app, actually. I need to verify that this works in the app. Let's put it that way. So it is in this flow to create the create job action flow. I'm not sure if it's going to work yet because I haven't tested it. So let's do a quick smoke test, which is going to be here. Create the whereby meeting, create consultation meeting, bada boom, bada bing. So what do we want to do? Help emergency. My cooker is overflowing with nothing. That's the emergency. Can you guys see this okay? How do I blow this up? 50. Let's do that. You know what? Let's go super big. Not too big. Okay. Let's do next. Let's go to Thursday, tomorrow, 9 a.m. I actually tried to solve this, you guys. I don't like this user experience where I have to scroll past everything to get to the continue button. But again, AI, I'm actually not a front-end developer. I am a front-end developer, but I've spent a lot more time on the back end. So something like getting the user experience of scrolling on a phone to get that seamless, that takes me a lot more effort. I tried to fix it and it wasn't going well. All right. Daters. We're going to continue to payment. So the main thing I'm testing here is that in this whereby dashboard here, I should see a new room created with some of my info. I think it was picking up on my name. I think the room had my name in it. Okay, you know what? I was getting this issue also. Something weird happens with the phone thing. Okay, processing the payment. It's Mario. Okay, let's go look at the... If it failed, it wouldn't tell me about it because it's just like try catching stuff. Whereby stub would create that with details. Payment created. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Refresh. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Does it even make sense? Only reason I didn't get into cybersecurity because I would have just ended up stalking my ex and never getting over her. Wait a minute. I just caught her cheating on this Cleave Guard app. Like I could just click a front camera command. I was instantly clicking it. So fast record instantly without any delay. What are we talking about? Manish, you doing okay, bro? I believe in you. I think you'll be better for leaving that situation behind. All right. So whereby is working. So here's the next. This is where Okay, going back to like coding. Okay, so like the code here, we drove AI a little bit. Seems to all be working just fine. Now comes a bit of a hard part because we want to integrate with ServiceTitan. ServiceTitan is not a well-known API to all the AI tools. Like I said earlier, this is not like a Shopify storefront. This is not publicly well known and solved 100 times, so it's easy for AI to solve it. So we got to really help AI along. And furthermore, we need to know a little bit about how our data is laid out in ServiceTitan. Because if I don't know where that data is, how can I tell the AI how to update it? So we got to do some exploring in a custom system here, which I have over here. Okay. Gonna close this. I'm gonna come over here. Come in. Kiddos. Got the kiddos. Come in. Oh, is that Xander? Not right now, Xander. That's my 1.5-year-old trying to bang the door down. Oops. What technologies are we using here? So as far as the code goes, this is all NextJS. And the NextJS, I'm doing a lot in the back end. The front end is really just a form. All the magic happens on the back end. This is not necessarily how I would build a production system. Going back to the question earlier of like, what's your specialty? My specialty is MVPs. I build quickly. I can do 2 or 3 features a week and do demos. Architecture, though, probably going to suck. If a senior architect looked at it, he would be like, what is this? And I would say, it's a working MVP, home dog, hot dog, home dog, hot dog. So you gotta know your lane. I know mine. I can do enterprise stuff. I just don't. It's not particularly what I'm good at and what I enjoy. Okay, so this is our ServiceTitan here. This is the back end that we're integrating with. This is where all the data lives. We got to figure out. These are all the little test appointments that I've created in here. I know you can't see that. Try to make this a little more consumable. Let's just click on one of these. This is a job, I guess, within the ServiceTitan world. Now, my question is, we've got reviews, we've got photos, we've got tasks, we've got histories, we've got nice little history log, events, calls, notes. Now, I could maybe stick it in a note. So what I'm trying to do here, you guys, in case this wasn't clear, sorry if it wasn't clear, I've got these URLs here. I've got this room URL. I've got this host URL. In fact, let's go. I can click on this, right? Configure, copy, just open. So this is going to take me to the meeting that I created. Wants to use your camera and your microphone. Yes, allow. Boom, there I am. Hey, I'm the host. Let me fix your toilet. Stick your head in it. Flush it. So this URL, though, I got to do a couple things with this URL. Number one, I have to text one of these URLs to the customer, but not right away. I want to text it to the customer 5 minutes before the meeting starts. They just scheduled a meeting for tomorrow. 5 minutes before that starts, I need to text it to them. So I need to save it. Now, again, I could use a database. And in some sense, it's actually going to be quicker engineering-wise, probably, to set up a database. I'm using Render for deployment. So I could probably do that super quick. But that's one more thing to manage in the architecture. And I would like to keep the architecture as simple as possible so that if I go stand this up for another plumbing company, we could just use their ServiceTitan to integrate everything. Plus, if my app goes down, there's some backup. Because if I'm keeping all the information in ServiceTitan over here, if it's in this view somewhere, then even if my app goes down or something goes wrong or they get confused, it's like the technicians can come here. They have both URLs. They can join with their URL. They can send the client the participant URL, whatever. So I would like to keep it in ServiceTitan if I can for those reasons. I don't know if I can. So I don't see any custom fields right here, right now in this particular job type. Let me see. So in ServiceTitan, they have all this configuration stuff we can do in here. If I go to job types, I'll make this all big for us. I have these two virtual consultation job types. These are the two that I'm using. Let's go to the service request, excuse me. And do I have custom fields? Select the custom fields that this job type will use. So here's a bunch of custom fields. Test skills was something that I created a little while ago. Test skill. You know what? Maybe we need to go. Should I ask AI for help on this? I don't know. I feel like. Well, here's what I don't know. I'm gonna do this test skills thing. I'm gonna hit save. This is on the service request job. If I refresh this existing job, where would the, oh, look at this, job skills, virtual service. Okay, I don't know how to use ServiceTitan, you guys. This is like not my bread and butter, right? I'm an engineering person, not a plumber. In ServiceTitan, I'm trying to add a custom field that I can then update from the API. Custom field on what? On a job that I can then update from the API. How do I do that? I've never used service. I've never used ST. Give me step by step brief instructions. Got that 4.0. Yes, sir. So I guess I can just post the custom fields, excuse me, here. And I guess just kind of chill where this is actually showing the custom field here now. I'm kind of like, can we make sure, can I make sure that that did what I wanted it to do here? Let's go back and remove it. Save it. I just want to make sure I'm not tripping when I see this here, because I can't edit it right here. That makes me a little bit nervous that I can't edit it from. Yep, so that's not even what I'm looking at there. I was looking at the wrong thing. How do I edit it? Can I edit? I guess I just need to ask this. How do I edit this custom field from the UI, from the STUI? STUT? Yeah, it knows what I'm talking about. Open the job, navigate to dispatch or search jobs, a job you want to edit, find the custom field section, scroll down and do the thing. Oh, I didn't do edit? Not sure how I feel about that. Okay, let's try this again. So edit. So we're going to add this custom field. I don't even know. I can't remember what this skills custom field is, to be honest with you. Maybe I should go do that. So from the previous instructions, it said just to search on custom fields. Let's go over here. Custom fields. That's Marketing Pro. Operations. Custom fields. Test skills. It's a drop down call where it appears. Where it appears. Ooh. Ooh, here we go. Job record display on call booking screen. Make this a required field. Call booking screen, project record, purchase order, job template. I don't see appointments or anything, customer record. I mean, it seems like it's right. And then it just has these two options, virtual service or virtual quote. Add to job types. Got the job types. I mean, this all looks pretty good. Issue I'm having is custom fields is not on this particular UI. So that's, I'm a little bit chapped by that. If I edit the job, search for custom fields. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. Oh, I just saw it. Okay, right here, test skills, something like this. Okay, let's hit save. Test skills. Oh, there it is. It's at the top. Jeez. Jeez. Anybody else see that? I didn't see that. Okay. So right at the top, we've got all the custom fields here. That's probably why I couldn't see it. Test skills, virtual service. So that's going to be kind of ugly if you think about it. Because what I was going to do, right, is have a field here that said like host URL, participant URL. It's going to be big, long, ugly URLs. I could put it in the job summary. You guys have an opinion here? Stick it in the job summary and see what's up. See what's up with that. That would at least, well, okay, here's the problem though. How do I retrieve it later? Because I'm going to have to, like I said, 5 minutes before the meeting, I got to query this job again, get the details back, look up the URL, and then text that out. So if it's in the job summary, I got to parse it. I don't like that. If it's in this, it's going to be big and ugly. And I don't have a better, wish I could add anything, but I'm from marketing background, trying to switch to it. Yeah, no worries, man, no worries. I think I got to go the ugly structured way. I think that's what I got to do. So I'm going to leave this alone. And actually, I'm going to add it to this other one. I'm going to leave this custom field alone. I'm going to add a new custom field. And I'm going to call it, what should we call it? Call it customer join link on the job record. Display on call booking screen. I don't know. I guess we should test that. Let's go ahead and leave this the way that it was before. Yes, it's a type text. Job types. Vert. Save. And let's go back to my job type here. I'm going to hit refresh here. I should see it. Maybe because it doesn't have a value. Is that why? Test skills. There it is, customer join link. Some HTTPS. Join me. Probably dangerous to go to that. I wouldn't suggest it. Okay, now it shows up. Also, now I'm curious. Let's go back to custom fields. Oh man, this is annoying. Where it appears. Customer join link text. Let's edit this. I can't edit the text. I'm wondering if there's a link type. Let's check that out. Looks like a lot of AWS console, maybe. They both use React.js based interface. Yeah, probably. I don't know what ServiceTitan here uses. I just want to try the tips. Okay, text. The types. Text, drop down, numeric. Good. I don't really want to do that. Gonna go cancel that. I'm also going to, that's job types. I'm gonna check out. Where'd you go? Customer join link. Let's edit this. I'm going to take it off this checkbox here, display on call booking screen, because I kind of fear that that's external. So I just want to uncheck that, refresh this, make sure that it still shows up here. Good. Leave it alone like that. So that's the customer join link. And then I need another one and another. And I'm going to say technician join link on the job record. Yes. Type text. Save. And I guess if it's empty, it doesn't show up by default. So even though I've added it, if there's nothing there, it won't show up. All good. No problemo. But now I know. Now I've got the data set up in my back end here. So I know that it is going to be custom fields on the job. Now, I do have the ServiceTitan APIs here that I got from ServiceTitan, and I know that there's some kind of job create deal up in here, right here, creates a job, good. So we are going to do our flow of asking AI to help us draft some code first, because actually this file is too big to feed to AI in one go. So we're gonna have it inspect some of this stuff. In fact, I just had another crazy idea. Can I like copy? Can I copy this whole thing? Oh man, that'd be nice. Maybe I just do like this, right? Boom. Okay. So add to chat. So what is this? Command L. Boop. Agent. We're going to go to ask. So we're adding that to our context. We're going to come back over here to create job action. And I'm going to say, you know what? Now I'm wondering about something. On these two customer join link and technician join link we created, settings, custom fields, edit, they both have unique IDs. And I think what I'm going to have to do here, I've run into this a couple of times, constants, where I basically have to keep around a bunch of mapping information, okay? Where I say, look, here's the data object in ServiceTitan, here's its name and its ID. Basically get that hard-coded into my system so that my system can specifically look that stuff up. Now, again, we're building an MVP here, so normally I would have an admin dashboard. That admin dashboard would allow you to set up those relationships and manage them, right? It would show you, like, here's all the custom fields. Which ones do you want to map to? That sort of thing. We don't have time for that, so we're just going to hard code configuration information. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to say custom fields mapping. So I'm going to say, I'm not really sure what I want here, but there should be field ID, for example. That's one of them. Should be field name, field ID and field name, which would be hard-coded. The name's not actually used. This is really just for our system to like when I'm doing my debugging, it just makes it easier for that. Okay, I like where that's going. So we got the customer join link, and then we've got the technician, which is this ID here out of the URL. This is the technician join link, fields mapping. All right, I'll take that. Excuse me. Those IDs are really far apart, I just realized. Kind of interesting. I don't know, 47 and 57? Huh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Got some text rolling in. All right. So I got these, excuse me, these custom mappings up in here. So I'm going to add this to my context, which is Command L. Okay, got my constants in there. And what am I saying? I'm saying after the whereby meeting is created, we're going to update. This is a job. This is a jobby. Yes, update the job with the URLs. Yeah. So create action. So I want this one too. So I'm going to say update so that after the whereby meeting details are created, then we should update the custom fields in the job to include the customer and technician meeting links from whereby. Show me what that would look like. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, be right back. Oh, it's a quickie. Don't worry about it. Where's BRB. What's up? All right. Let's see here. So we were doing key changes would be update job method for patch requests, implemented actual ServiceTitan integration, and update ServiceTitan details thing. Use your custom field mapping. Let's see. Hold up. It's like the PR review process, you know? Got to look at some codes here. Job services. Ooh, yeah, we got to change that actually. So I don't like, man. So I've had multiple iterations of setting up these APIs, and this file right here, services service.ts, is like kind of the worst. So we're adding to it. I don't love that. We're going to make the decision to leave that alone for now. So it's updating this, hopefully with the type. It does not even have the right type here. I don't like that. Like how much, you know, how far down this rabbit hole do we go? For the update job method, make sure the job data is strongly typed. See details here. Let's go down to my thing here. Jobs, we got cancel, remove, hold, complete. Am I missing? Here it is. Tenant, patch. That's exactly where I want to go, homie. Boom. Paste. Well, okay. I guess I'll just do this and then say L. See details. I don't know. See details. See if that works. I found the update job request schema. Okay, good. Update whereby meetings module to use the strongly typed interface. No, I don't want to do it in here. Yeah, this is where, so it's trying to, again, man, this is all about design. So, and there's a balance, right? There's a really delicate balance when you're doing MVP. You're not trying to pursue perfection. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. But I know right now this is not hard to do this in the right way. So I'm going to say the code to update the job service should not be in lib whereby, it should be in job action. Yes, job action is getting huge, but I can split that out a lot easier. At least all the logic is in one big long stack of code versus having, you know, one piece way over here and one piece way over there, and then I got to go track it down later. Absolutely right, blah, blah, blah. So keep that module simple. Going to go back to the original prompt here and say create action. Hold up. All the way to the top. So boom, update whereby meetings module. We covered that. And we're doing some of this stuff here. Good. Type ID. Good. That looks good otherwise. The complete updated job action thing would look like this. I'm not really sure how that's different. Benefits of this structure, yada yada. Okay, so I'm going to say, give me a quick, short summary of the changes you would make to save the whereby meeting links to ServiceTitan. Let's make sure it's on the right track, and then we'll switch over to agent and say, go for it. Changes needed, update the job, say update job method in this, create ServiceTitan types in that, update or add the update job with meeting details function, remove ServiceTitan logic from that, keep it in whereby only. Keep it whereby only. Yes, correct. Flow, good. Yes, solid. Switch over to the agent and say, looks good, implement the discussed changes. Come on, somebody. Yeah. I like this. I like this flow. I like this flow. I've not been doing this, but I like it a lot. After this, shoot. I think we're going to do some simple refactoring. But not for too long. Too much magic bus. Bob it up. Too much magic bus. What are you guys up to? What are you listening to? What's the hot new bands on the scenes? Why is this all weird? Oh, because it's in the process. Is this waiting on me? What's it doing here? Reading, create job actions, thinking about it, generating, accept all. Read service. Okay. All right. Just doing your thing. Added ServiceTitan types in something. Why did you add the ServiceTitan types, bruh? ServiceTitan types. ServiceTitan job update types. Custom field model is a type ID or a value. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Updated the method, strongly typed it, uses patch endpoint to update stuff, cleaned up whereby module. I do want to see that one too, actually. So that was types, and then we've got services down here, which now has an update job, which does the job. Yeah, but it has this here, which is very nice. Is that it? I think that's it. Good. I'm going to close all these other ones because I'm losing track of my marbles here. Cleaned up whereby meetings. Good. Yes. Yeah, we're about to test this. Akshat, we're about to test this in just a second. Good. Meetings looks good. Last file to review is a create job action, and really, okay, so we actually have a new method here, update job with meeting details. So it's going to get the auth service, job service, creates the custom fields based on the meeting details coming in from the whereby meeting, updates the job, makes a little console log with some information, and then there should just be, come on. Yeah. Oh, wait, to update job stuff. Meeting details, create the meeting, update the job, done and freaking done. Accept all. And let's test it. Let's test it out. So here, that was the previous one. Let's go back to this homeboy. Gonna do a hard refresh. Okay, this is it. Little app demo here. You guys ready? You ready? You buckled up? Select what kind of service we want. Help me with a repair. I need a quote. Let's do the quote. Next. Shows me the availability of someone who can help me with a quote. 7:30 a.m. looks good. Continue. Gonna auto-populate all this dummy data. Dum 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 dum. We're gonna pay. Which I don't know why. Why does this button not work with my my dealio here? You know. It's like now it works. Looking at the logs. Doing some things. Meeting details. Haba jabba jabba. Appointment confirmed. Plumbing. Yes. Good. And then, remember, we're keeping all this in ServiceTitan. ServiceTitan is our backend. I don't have a database. I would like to avoid a database because the client already uses ServiceTitan. I don't want to add extra things to their workflow at this point in time. If I go to the schedule, tomorrow morning at 7:30, today's Wednesday. So tomorrow morning at 7:30, this is the one that I just booked. Question is, did I get the URLs? Got the URLs. Oh, sweet. Holy mama pajamas. That's a thing of beauty right there. That was. I don't know what kind of AI workflow you guys have, but like, I've been doing this for. Well, obviously I've been using AI in my workflow for a long time now, but I have finally gotten to this point where I'm learning how to use Cursor much better with this. So the thing is, this is my pro tip. You want to have a conversation first. Okay? It's like a date. It's like a date with the AI. It's like you're dating AI for every little pull request. You talk to it. You say, hey, here's my vision for life. What do you think about that? What would your vision be? Okay, but, joke aside with the dating analogy, what did I just say a second ago? It's all about design. So I'm telling it, hey, this is the direction I want to go. How would you build this? It starts showing me the kind of changes it would make. A lot of times too, the first thing I'll ask it is, what files and folders would you create? That's the first question I'll ask it. It shows me the files and folders. I give it a little bit more context and say, hey, actually, the auth schema here is just a Barrow token. So I don't need a whole other, because you guys probably missed it earlier, but earlier it was like giving me a whole separate auth.ts file to do who knows what, auth 0, 2.0, whatever. So I gave it a little more context, and then it sort of redid it, removed a file, added a file. I say that file structure looks pretty good. I like that. And then I said, hey, I want to be able to, what was it at the time? Here's the functionality I want to do. Now that I have like a good file structure, here's what I want it to actually do. It needs to go create a whereby meeting. It needs to make sure to use this environment variable that I'm going to supply. It drafts that up for me. And then once I give it feedback, right? We kind of work together on some of these details. And once I like the picture that it's laid out, then I switch over to the agent. Okay, cursor right here. It's got ask, manual, and agent. I might change this workflow tomorrow, but what I really like doing, just sit on ask, don't even do manual yet. Explore a new design with it. Then you switch over to agent and say, now implement everything up to this point. And then it actually gets it right. And I know a lot better what to expect because I've sat here and done it's like whiteboarding. It's like I've sat here and done the whiteboarding with the AI, so we're on the same page. So by the time I hand it over to the agent, it's really highly accurate to what I want. This is good. This is good, you guys. This is really good. Okay, so we're just gonna do a quick reviewal here. Git add, diff staged. How much time did it require you to make this? That's so cool. I've been working on this now for 2 or 3 weeks, but like I'm only spending a couple hours a day when I'm streaming. Like literally about we're at like the 1 hour 48 minute mark. So literally about 2 hours a day for the past 2 or 3 weeks to get to this point. What file is this? Create job action. Yep. Okay, so that's the create job action. We got this new method in there. Services, K. Types. Remove the, yeah, no, it's straightforward. It's beautiful. Thing of beauty, man. So feature, save, whereby URLs to ServiceTitan. Commit and push. Dudes, that was it. We're done. We're done with that task. Bam. To demo. There's one more thing before the next major milestone, which is now that I've got this information saved in ServiceTitan, I need to create a little script, little cron job. It's going to go look every 5 minutes. It's going to pull for that information out of ServiceTitan. It's going to look to see what appointments are around the corner, and if there's any appointment within the next 5 minutes, it will send the notification. There might be tricky details here. I'm not going to do this today, actually. There might be tricky details on this because I kind of need to know that this is running on the 5-minute mark. So, for example, if my meeting starts at the half-hour mark, if it starts at the 30-minute mark, if it runs at the 25-minute mark, but it's like 1 millisecond before 25 minutes, if it's 24 minutes and 59 seconds and 999 milliseconds, then it's going to say it's going to be over the 5-minute mark. The next meeting is not within the next 5 minutes. And so it's not going to send that reminder until the next time it runs at the 30-minute mark. You see what I'm saying? I'm not exactly sure if that's a real issue or not, but that's one thing in my head that I'm going to be thinking about is how to specifically avoid that scenario. But that's going to have to wait till probably tomorrow because I need to go now. And yeah, dude, what other wrap up? I mean, I think I had this whereby recording transcripts, this whole like epic level feature I had spanning nearly 3 weeks. I just did that in 2 hours. Now, that's not super impressive. This is all about communicating with your client because I had already done a proof of concept with whereby I knew, I kind of knew what the build was going to be there. Honestly, a big part of that was just getting the accounts set up the right way and getting things transferred over from my proof of concept code to a little bit more production ready code with the proper accounts. So that was part of the reason for the longer. Hey, thank you for whoever subscribed. I can't see that. Sorry. So anyways, that's just communicating with the clients, right? I didn't know if it was really going to take me 2 hours. Honestly, that actually went faster than I really thought it was going to be. So next is this reminders piece. That's the 5-minute thing I'm talking about. So we got the booking form created, whereby, so recording and transcripts is just like a toggle that you switch in whereby, so there's no custom code I have to do for that. Basic text notifications, we did that yesterday and the day before, so then we'll just do reminders and we'll be done for the week. And then we got some other stuff in the future, as you can see. All right. Any last shots? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's something else I need to wrap up here. I'm like checking my notes. I don't think so. I think we're good to go. All right. Well, thanks for joining, you guys. Thanks for liking and subscribing and all that. I hope my commentary is useful to you all. You know, more questions, more interaction, the better. So don't be afraid to chime in. Later.